Welcome, Warriors.
Yay.
Yay. We are going to be officially wrapping up season 3 right now with all of our warrior guests from this season sharing their advice that they would give to their younger selves. We ask them every time we talk to a new warrior, what advice would you go back in time and you could look at yourself in the mirror? You could take as much time as you needed, cup your face in your own hands and be like, here is what you need to know, future me. Or younger me. This is what future me is telling you. This is what you needed to know as a kid or as a younger person. And I just love getting all of our warriors' perspectives on this.
Yeah.
Because unlike the question that we ask everyone about what does anxiety warrior mean to you, this one feels really personal.
Yes.
This one is so direct and unique to that person's needs or what that person's needs were as a child or as a younger person or whatever. And these feel so personal to me.
Yes. But also applicable. Like there's advice that people give and I'm like, damn, that's so good. I got to be taking that now. Right? It's just, it's wisdom just pouring out at those moments.
Yeah. It feels good to hear. And I feel like a lot of our warriors, when they share what they would say to their younger selves, a lot of it is about self-trust, about self-belief, right? About knowing that they could do hard things, like moving through challenges. I think those are a lot of the common themes from all of our guests across all of our seasons.
Yes.
Right. And like you said, it's just good advice that we all need to be heeding every moment of every day as we live as our anxious selves. All right, warriors. So we hope that you enjoy this recap of all of these fantastic responses. And if you have not listened to these episodes, we hope that listening to these answers is going to make you be like, oh my gosh, I have to go back and find out, right? I have to go check out that full episode and learn more from that person, because all of these warriors are just so amazing and we love them so, and we know that you will too if you don't yet. So warriors, without further ado, enjoy season 3 finale, advice for our younger selves. If you could go back in time and speak to a younger version of yourself, what kind of advice would you offer?
Yeah, just don't be so hard on yourself, Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. Oh gosh, this is a hard question, Margot. Why that's such a hard question for me is because I don't want it to be about regrets, right? I don't think people should have regrets. We know what we know when we know it at the time we learn it.
Yes. Full body chills. That was amazing.
Yeah. We know it. We know when we know it. Like,
ooh, I got another body chill. I need to write that down.
Yeah, I know.
And so would I have been able to hear that? Yeah. So talking to my younger self, I guess I would say it's just enjoy life a little bit more.
Yeah.
Expectations, I had very high expectations for myself. Maybe the only thing I would have done is maybe, I hate to say lower them, but do you know what I mean?
Just take the edge off of it. It's like, just soften that that edge just a little bit. Just enjoy the ride a little more. Yes.
Yeah.
Good advice. Solid advice. Yeah. All right. You hear that, younger warriors out there listening? It's never too late to just start taking the edge off of our own expectations, for sure.
So it's funny because a song came to my head right away.
Yes.
We're down for you singing it.
I think it's Simon and Garfunkel. It's like, slow down, you move too fast. It's feeling groovy, I think, right? But that is literally what came right to my brain. I was like, slow down. That's what it would be, slow down. Because again, the recovering perfectionist in me wants to do all the things all the time. And I can do all the things. Yes, I can. But should I? Yeah. And will it affect my nervous system? And if so, can I slow it down? What can I do to slow it down? That's what I would tell my younger being. Slow down. You're going to still, if you want to do that, you can, but it's also okay to take breaks, and it is okay to take 5, and it is okay to take a Shavasana. Like,
yes.
Yeah. And, it's productivity and like the ability to be, do, achieve all those things. Like that was really ingrained for sure in my being. Like if you're not producing or achieving, therefore you are not anything. So maybe my younger self, I would say you are enough too. Just like
that your emotions are not good or bad, right or wrong. They are intuitive messages from your soul, and they need to be validated. Like really, like I cannot impart on people enough that when we are rejecting our emotions, we are rejecting a part of ourselves. And that is the point, I think, of our lives, is how can we just come more and more into acceptance with whatever our experiences are in the moment. And so I wish I knew that like emotions weren't bad, that they were just there to give me a piece of feedback about my body, about my experience. And I think that would have, I think if I knew that about emotions, that would have been a game changer.
I would tell him, relax and sit back and relax, maybe, because this is going to take a little while. This is going to take a little while. This is this is not a microwavable dinner. This anxiety thing. This is something that you got to put in the oven, right? And this is going to take some time to rise, right? You're down low now, but you're going to rise again. It's okay. Take your time, and also to stop judging your progress with a clock. That was one of the worst things that I did that took me, it really set me back for a very, very long time, because I would say, look, if I don't feel better by next month, then something's definitely really, really wrong. Or, or this year, or if I'm not back in school by this time, then, or, this time, that set me back, because what happens is you're not where you want to be at that time. When you give yourself that deadline, then you feel horrible. Then you feel even worse than you were feeling already. Right. So it's a trap. It's a trick. So I really started progressing and getting better and feeling better when I started using this word differently and putting it in a different place in my sentence. Until I started using until properly, and then that's what kind of the light bulb came on. And I was like, hey, if I can just say until, so like, all right, so if I'm dealing with this anxiety, then how long am I going to deal with this? Until I get over this, or whether it be depression or anything else, like how, like what will I do? I will do what I have to do until I get through this or whatever. And I started thinking about that a lot, and started living like that, actually. That until mentality, as I call it, and everything started to change from there. I was like, oh shoot, this word is a lot more powerful than I thought. Are you telling me that I can do anything now? I can really get over anything? Because I took time off of it. I don't care if it's next month or next year when I start feeling better or what have you. Then hold on, you're trying to tell me I can't lose then? Exactly. That's what really helped.
I would let her know that it's okay to like feel that anxiety, and just like almost like normalize it for her, and just give her a hug. I feel like that's something, like just a hug sometimes goes such a long way of just like, not necessarily the perfect advice, but just like, I see you, I feel you, and I get it. And it's really hard, but it's okay. I think part of my anxiety journey when I was younger was just not understanding it and not knowing if other people felt it, and just like, what is this feeling? And so I would just want my younger self to know that like, it's okay that you have that feeling, and like one day you'll figure out how to have a good relationship with it, and it's going to be okay.
There's so much, but I know we only have a little bit of time. I would definitely say, now knowing the language better, to know that setting up a boundary is okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that doesn't make you selfish or weird, and comparing less, because the comparing, oh, she has this, she has that, I don't have this yet, I don't have that, what's wrong with me? The less comparing and the trusting myself more. Like there's something wrong with the situation, or he's not right, stop trying to make it work just because you want a boyfriend, or just because you want this job. If it doesn't feel right and your gut is telling you, then trusting it, for sure. I think I would definitely say that to myself, and a few other things too.
To trust yourself.
Mm.
Yeah. Because I'm just learning to do that now.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a work in progress, right?
Yeah, it's a work in progress. And like, it's okay to share your feelings, like, trust in yourself and trust it's going to be okay. Like, it's going to be okay. Like, you have a great life, like, it's going to be okay.
So I think the main thing would be to be more compassionate with myself and others. So I have a really great story about a client, and then even kind of wrapping up my own journey with like kind of getting out of that intense anxiety. So the compassion, I was very hard on myself, just for starters when I got there. But before I was really experiencing that first, major panic attack, I had clients in the past, so working as a counselor, who had, like anxiety, and they would call them panic attacks. And so I remember being in there, like, I feel one coming on now. And I used to think like, okay, well, like, if you know what it is, and that's just what it is, like, why, I just really didn't get it. Like, I had the counseling tools to offer in this, but I didn't have the compassion on an experience level. Like, and then you get like, so then I know, okay, they're freaked out, it's coming, it's this. I'd kind of be like, well, but we're all here, you're fine. It's, so, that's what, again, right. Just kind of that no experience, coming from an intellectual point. So for me, the compassion has helped me be better with other people. And then for myself too, the other thing I would say, back when I was younger, really kind of experiencing this in my early 30s, is to ask more questions of the medical field. So I was a couple of years into this, maybe like 2-3 years into, really trying to navigate this severe anxiety on a daily level, when they finally figured out I was being overdosed on thyroid medicine. So a lot of mine was an imbalanced thyroid. So like, I really think, but I just kind of went along and went with it. I didn't ask questions. I didn't push. So my younger self also would ask for more thorough, the regular thyroid test doesn't tell you much. You got to do, like, there's multiple layers to that too. And so, yeah. So that was another one I would, so again, balancing the hormones, the thyroid, like, helped 100%. Again, there's, not like, okay, it's never, and it doesn't bubble up, but it really, made a huge, huge difference. So that would be something I would tell my younger self, rather than just going with well, this is what they said. Okay, let's just,
Oh my goodness. The first thing that comes to mind is, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. Everything's always fine. You are resourceful. You always figure things out. Don't rush. There is no rush into anything. Take your time. It's okay to slow down. And sometimes when you slow down, that's when eventually you'll be able to go faster. I come from a family of entrepreneurs and overachievers, and you can probably tell by my energy, right? And sometimes there was this urgency to get things done, or to finish things and get to the next level. And I just wish she could just chill a bit more. It'll be nice.
So I was thinking about this one a lot, because there's just so many funny things came up. But I would say, just first and foremost, get into therapy and get on medication immediately. I don't think medication's for everyone, and I'm not a proponent of saying that it's something that everyone needs in order to adjust themselves. But it really works for me, and it definitely works when I'm sober, because my brain can actually interact with the medication. So I think, if really just like just go full in on your mental health, Jesse. Like, you're going to have a lot of things are going to happen to you, a lot of trauma and things that you can't control, and you're not going to know how to deal with it. And so like, this is like, that's, I think would be like, if I could catch myself at like 12 years old, I would just be like, you gotta go do the thing, just go do the thing. And, this will save you a lot of time later, and it will save you a lot of relationships you didn't want to get in. And it will definitely help, you become the person you want to be, and hopefully kind of speed that process up a little bit.
Life advice, I think I would want her to know that it is okay to take up space, and that you do not have to be perfect doing it. I think I am someone that is very open about my mental health journey. I feel like when I hold in my secrets, I get sicker. And so I'm constantly like using my social media to talk about where I'm at, whether that's like, I haven't been able to get off the couch in 4 days, or, hey, this is like the other day I was able to celebrate the 4-year anniversary of the day that I walked into an emergency room having unaliving thoughts and ask for help for myself. Like, that's like another birthday for me.
Yeah. Yes.
So I really think that the most important thing I could have taught myself, or I don't want to say I wish I would have learned earlier, because then you change your whole journey, but I would want little me to know that, she can take up space as messy as she is anytime. She belongs anywhere.
Oh man, I got so much shit to tell that kid. Well,
and he still wouldn't listen.
I guess I would think about like, if I was like maybe like a teenager, 15, 16, because like I ended up dropping out of school like to get my GED, because I was not a good student. Not saying I was a bad kid, I just didn't care at the time. So I would just tell him to, like, there's a lot of shit you can learn, and just because like they're forcing you to do something, you don't have to do that. You got to just go to learn what you want to learn and kind of focus on that, and don't try to like get pushed into doing things that you don't want to do. There's so much information out there, and it's the age of information. You can learn anything you want.
Yeah.
Just learn skills and just work for yourself, and I guess don't do a dead-end career for like 10 years.
I love it. Yeah. Just like try, right?
Yeah, try harder, essentially. Don't quit. Because like, I think another thing was I always quit so easily on everything. I don't know why. It's just, failure is good because, you kind of know where to start again.
I would tell her it's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. I tell her to take deep breaths, and it doesn't define me. I have spent so many years thinking I'm a loser because I have to take medication, or because I, whatever. And it's like, no, this is not who I am. I'm a 7. I'm a 7 on the Enneagram. I love to have a good time. I love to have a lot of fun. I love to dance and sing and be crazy. And I lost that part of my identity somewhere with all of the anxiety and depression. My life became defined by fear instead of being fearless. So it's been exciting in these last few years to realize too, like, we're getting some of that fearlessness back, whatever that means.
I would say it's going to be okay, and to be yourself. Because I think I shared this too. I shared, I was bullied as a younger child. And so I was trying to be somebody else, and I thought that something was wrong with me. So I would go back and tell the younger me, like, it's okay. And like, it really literally is okay.
Don't doubt yourself. And I can think of it in so many different ways. When you're saying younger, like I'm thinking back, like elementary school, there was this program that was like, I forget what it was called, but it was like a program where if you think like in a gifted way, you're in this program. And it was very like exclusive and whatever. And like, I didn't get into it for like the first year or two. And that sat with me. And I was like, meanwhile, then like fast forwarding, I'm like, oh, I think very creatively, but I didn't think creatively in the way they defined it. Yeah. And it was like, I judged myself about it when I was like 7, and so it's like ridiculous. And then I think about it, in like high school when you're dealing with whatever kind of, mean girly kind of stuff that naturally happens, like just keep doing your thing. Like, you know who you are, you know what feels right. And I think that's really the thing. When something feels off, it doesn't work, and I think now as an adult, the things are bigger, the decisions are bigger. Like, you're living your regular life, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, that person's mean to me. Like, I don't surround myself with mean people. You know what I mean? So like, that's not a thing anymore, but it is like, oh, I made this decision and I probably like took on too much or didn't do this. And then like, I'm thinking about it so much. And when I realize that's happening, I'm like, okay, just do what you think is the right thing and don't doubt it. And I still need to tell myself that, like I could tell my yesterday self that. I like that question though, and I think a lot right now, there's a lot of conversation around like, what would you tell your future self? And I hope it's the same thing too, just be you, keep doing it. Cause right now, whatever you're doing is also the right thing to get you there, kind of thing.
I'm thinking of like college Josh, like high school college Josh, like think for yourself. I feel like I was being pulled in a lot of different directions and trying to like appease the parents and go to school, but like only really going to school because so many people were telling me to go to school. So definitely think for myself, pay more attention, have better coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty much
That's
it.
probably more advice than we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
It's the end of season 3. I can't believe it.
Now I have to sing something that sounds similar, but I don't know, so I can believe it.
Oh, okay. That's the opposite. You can believe it. I can't believe it. You can believe it. It's been such a fabulous season. I am so grateful. I'll speak for me. I'm so grateful that we got to meet so many amazing warriors, that they shared their stories with us, that they shared these tidbits of wisdom with us, with our community. And I hope that my wish for all of you in this holiday season or just in the season of your life is that you're able to take these little nuggets of wisdom into your day-to-day and share them with your fellow warriors.
Yeah, I love it. That's it.
Good stuff.
Spread
Good
the
stuff,
goodness.
Spread it. Spread it like peanut butter.
Advice. I'm picturing like advice being spread like peanut butter. But yeah, spread it.
All right, warriors. We love you so much.
We love you. Thanks so much for going on this journey with us. Hope you have a really nice holiday season. Stay warm.
Till next time. See you next season.